The time has come. We finally take on a bottom three side, and of course, it has to be North Melbourne, who are coming off a win, a draw, and getting a little bit into form. Let's talk about it. So we're 11 rounds into the season, and we finally take on a bottom three side. If you watch my previous video, which I'll post a link to up here, other teams around us have already played these teams, but we finally get them, and of course we get them when they're starting to play a little bit into form. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, right? And look, I'm usually not wrong. I'm usually not wrong. Do you think that this is a banana peel game for us? I remember talking to a mate who goes for St Kilda. Talking to him last week before the West Coast St Kilda game, and he said it was a banana peel game for them. Look, I'm confident that we're going to win, but I still think that these games are banana peel games for us. You know, the West Coast game, this game, the Richmond. Well, maybe not. The only one that I think isn't a banana peel would be Richmond. But I don't know. I don't know if it's because we've sort of done it in the past, and I saw it. 2023, I knew going into the West Coast Collingwood game at Marvel that it was going to be a banana peel game for us. And lo and behold, they go and beat us. Kangaroos get 54 points up against us last year. Of course, we go on to win that game by a point. But, you know, the way that we're going, we should win this game by 120 points. We should be outscoring these guys, 10-1. But I know, in my heart of hearts, that we're probably only going to win by 20 to 30 points. Now let's talk about the form going into these two games. Now, Collingwood coming off a couple of good wins against Fremantle, and the Crows, a hard-fought win against the Crows with the weather against us, and the Crows just being a really good side. North Melbourne, on the other hand, they're coming off a draw with the reigning premiers, who they probably could have easily beaten, and then coming off a close win against Richmond. So they're coming off two games where they were both really, really close games, and they were starting to not know how to see out close games, but they're seeing them out recently. So it's very interesting to me how this is going to play out. Now, where this game is sort of going to be won and lost is, I think we've got them covered in the midfield. I don't doubt that at all. Their forward line, although they're not winning lots of games and they haven't won lots of games, does scare me a little bit in the way that Zerha always plays well against us. Larky plays well against us. Now they've got Jack Darling, who, don't even mention West Coast and Jack Darling to me. And does Curtis come back as well? Does Paul Curtis come back? Maybe. They've got a really potent forward line when they can get the ball into them. And I know they were only playing against Richmond last week. Zerha kicks 4. I think Larky kicked 2. Jack Darling might have kicked 2 as well. And I know that last week when we came up against the best attacking team, which was Adelaide and Thilthorpe, Fogarty, Walker, only Fogarty kicked goals. But in saying that, it was really raining. So I wonder what it would be like in a really dry game, which would be interesting to see us going up against those with no Darcy Moore. We don't know if Darcy Moore is playing this week or not. So how Billy Frampton, they really, really do have their work cut out for him. Braden Maynard, I dare say, I think they might not play more. We'll see on Thursday when training comes, and I'll be doing a training video around that. But I think that's where it sort of really comes down to. Now, if you remember back to last season when we played the Roos, our forward line didn't have Mason Cox, Myercheck, Dan McStay, and Jamie Elliott. So we were without 4 of those guys. And Bobby Hill kicked 5, took Mark of the Year, and Bobby Hill kicked 5, took Mark of the Year. Lockie Schultz kicked 4 in what was at the time his best game for the Pies. Now this year, we're going to have Jamie Elliott, we'll have Bobby Hill, we'll have Tim Membry now, Mason Cox and Brody Myercheck. I wonder what's going to happen with those. One of those guys will get not dropped or managed. And I know Charlie West is going to debut. I just know Charlie West is going to debut in this game. Would I love... Oh, I guess we'll talk about a little bit about that later. But we're going to have a more potent forward line now than we did last season. And, you got to think last season was Nick Dacos' flu game. He was coming off that cork shin. He had a flu going into the end of the week, came up and had a really good, he was tagged by, was it Will Phillips? And then they subbed Will Phillips off. It was something like that. And then he had a really good third and fourth quarter. But I just think that this game is going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think. And I don't know if it's just me thinking that, but that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Now, let's look at the teams and the sort of news around that we know so far as of, what's today, Tuesday, right? So we know that Lachie Schultz isn't going to play. He's going to spend another week under concussion protocols. Dan Houston has got a corked calf, so he picked that up against Adelaide. He's going to be a test, so he's going to be a wait and see until Thursday training. And then Darcy Moore is going to be a test on Thursday's training as a wait and see as well with that AC joint. Could play. Remember that he was diagnosed, it was 1 to 2 weeks with that. So he could well miss another game if they sort of reckon that our backline can see to their forwards, which I think we will be able to, because I'd rather Darcy Moore be good for the Hawthorn game than for the North Melbourne game. You know, even if you have to play a Charlie Dean in the North Melbourne game, who has been absolutely just been playing so well in the VFL and definitely does deserve it. Let's look at who we could potentially bring in. Now, I just mentioned him, Charlie Dean. I think if we're wanting another defender, Charlie Dean is definitely that guy. He has been absolutely just smashing it in the VFL. Him and Sam Glover have really been holding down the defense really well. And I love, just personally, as a little side note to myself, I love that I'm watching more of the VFL. I'm paying more attention to it so I can see this. And Charlie Dean just looks fantastic. Charlie West, he's averaging 3.5 goals a game. It'd be stupid not to play him. And then you've got the likes of Demetia, who's had a really good couple of games as an inside mid. Is there room for him? You'd probably have to drop a Lachie Sullivan and Ed Allen or a Ned Long, which is probably not going to happen. Maybe Ed Allen or Lachie Sullivan won't play. Tom Mitchell's playing really well, but I think they give him another VFL game. But then you've got the likes of like a TJ who's doing well off halfback. So there's a couple of names that can be there. I don't want to mess around too much with the chemistry of the team at the moment. In saying that, I know we rested 4 guys against Fremantle, but I think resting 4 guys this week against Kangaroos, I don't know, might come back to bite us on the arse. I know Steel Sidebottom isn't playing, so that does give us another person that can come in. I would love to see 2 debutants. Like I said in the training video, I think it was. The VFL video. I would love to see Charlie West come in, give Myercheck a rest or give Mason Cox a rest. And I'd love to see Demetia come in for a Steel Sidebottom. Play Ed Allen on the wing, Demetia into the middle, see how he goes with Ned Long. I think it's the perfect game for them because you're not going to get another game like this unless it's against a West Coast. And, you might only leave Demetia in for one game and then Steel comes back in for the Hawthorn game. But I think this is a good chance and a good opportunity to see what these kids can do. I'm very, very excited about the prospect of Charlie West debuting. I've talked about him for weeks. I've seen him in the VFL. Just up live and close and personal in the VFL, seeing him there. Just absolutely incredible, insane. Oscar Steen's doing well. I don't know if I've talked about the depth. I want to do a video. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do a video. Or I was thinking about doing like a tier rank. Remember my keep trade deal list video. But guys in the VFL who I think are going to debut this season, who have got a long way to go, and all these sort of things. Let me know down below if you want to see a video like that, because I think it'll be pretty fun to see. But I do reckon we get 1 or 2 debutants against the Roos. My predictions and my big call. My big call is that Charlie West debuts, kicks 3 on debut, and gets a Rising Star nomination. That's my big call. My prediction, I still reckon we only win by 25 points. And I want to come on here and say, hey man, this is a good time to get a percentage boost. We're going to win by 80 points. And I would love to win by 80 points. I would love to win by 80 points. But I don't know if I'm just burnt. And I don't know why. I don't know. As a Collingwood supporter, I know you feel it too. Let me know down below in the comments. I know you feel it too. I just feel like they're going to put up a really, really, really good fight. And yeah, we'll only win by 20 to 30 points. But give me a 100-point win. Please, for the love of God, I would love a 100-point win. But This has been my preview of the game. Let me know your thoughts, all your thoughts down below. And until then, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. Buy some merch. I'll see you next time. Swoop you later. Love ya.